Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Isn't it funny how we could all be watching the same movie, but apparently many of us come to completely different conclusions? That's what it feels like. We just watched the last election and the issue is obvious. The American voters are done with Democrat corruption and they seem to be done with wokeness in general, but apparently, according to some people, we've got it wrong. I mean, we've completely misdiagnosed the issues plaguing the Democrat Party. Yup, in true leftist progressive fashion. The problem is never that the progressives have gone too far. The issue is that they haven't gone far enough. I've been hearing this all over. But where I'm really seeing it is with this whole push behind Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to make her the future face of the party. This shows you exactly what I'm saying. These people have learned nothing, but I guess they're already learning the hard way. AOC suffers a humiliating, embarrassing public defeat, and the progressives continue to have their heads in the sand. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so like I've been saying, you would think that they'd get the message. AOC, the face of far leftism in the Democrat Party, probably not the pick, right? But instantly, that seems to be where so many of these Democrat progressives are going. Initially floating her name to run for president in 2028, and now the progressive faction of the party decided they were going to make a play for a very powerful House Oversight Committee position, of course with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as the Trojan horse, and well, it flopped. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was defeated in her bid to be the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, losing to Representative Jerry Connolly of Virginia, and she lost here in 131 to 84 votes in what seems to be yet again another massive blow for progressives. You know, again, it feels like they're living in an alternative reality. They seem to think that the Democrat Party collapsed on its own. I don't think they've realized that they're kind of the core nucleus here. They think the establishment has failed and now's an opportunity for the progressives to take over the party. But I think pretty much what everyone's thinking right now, including many of the top brass of the Democrat Party, is we need to rid ourselves of this woke mind virus plague. I think they've totally read the room wrong, and it's really not surprising considering they do represent the ideology of participation trophies. I guess they think they're supposed to fail upwards, lead their party into the ground, and then lead some sort of progressive coup that they're now entitled to. But that's not the way that the world works. AOC and her friends aren't walking into big promotions here, bigger and better seats and more responsibility and more role in the party. No, they're being gatekept by the Democrat establishment that is desperately trying to cling on to power. And really, just the audacity of these people, the audacity of someone like AOC, whose ideology is behind so much of the crisis as of late, the audacity of her to be the face of progressivism, and now to try to transition after this devastating loss for the Democrats in 2024 as a moderate establishment Democrat vying for important roles, removing the pronouns from her bio. It's just such a high level of narcissism. It's almost unbelievable. You don't get to take over a political party and walk into big promotions and big important roles after you've left the nation with a devastating immigration crisis.
Police are still executing search warrants here at the Edge at Lowry Apartments. The suspects then burglarized the victim's home. Now, the victims were released and police were called at around 2:30 a.m. The victims are now at the hospital receiving treatment for what are said to be non-life-threatening injuries. Now, police arrived at the apartments and found 15 people in one apartment alone. Most of the people in that room match the description of the suspects, and 15 people have since been detained. Police say this is 100% gang-related, but they're not sure if it's TDA.
This is without question a gang incident. I don't know which gang they are affiliated with yet. It might be TDA. It could not be TDA. We will determine that and we will find that out.
You know, just Venezuelan gangs taking over entire apartment complexes, robbing, kidnapping, and stabbing people. Just an average Tuesday in the woke world of sanctuary cities and Joe Biden's border crisis. You know, AOC, I seem to remember you being the person crying in front of that fence, going on about Donald Trump raising concentration camps at the southern border. Yeah, apologies, but with that kind of track record, in this political climate, you don't get to walk into promotions. Ooh, crazy concept. No, in fact, quite the opposite. I think these progressives are less walking into a political honeymoon phase here. Yeah, less of that and more of, I think, their worst political nightmare. The people have woken up.
You spent over $574 million on illegal immigrants here in Chicago, Illinois since 2022. Now, you still feel like you have to harbor these illegals, which is not a good idea. And in my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to challenge Tom Homan on this, because he's trying to clean up our cities, Mr. Brandon Johnson. Now, let me just remind everybody here that Brandon Johnson is terrible with the budget. How is this $40 million credit line is going to work exactly? Because the key word is credit. So how much will we be using from this $40 million? And the real question is, how much will we be paying back? Now, you want to sit here, you and J.B. Pritzker want to puff out your chest and fight Tom Homan. We need Tom Homan here in Chicago. We need Donald Trump. And I don't want to see people like Pam Bundy and Cash Patel, you know, haul you up out of here and become prosecuted. I don't want to see that happen. But they will do their job if they have to, Brandon Johnson. Now, we are $1 billion in debt. That's absolutely insane. Kamala Harris, she spent $1 billion on her campaign less than a year, and she's $20 million in debt. So it's looking like Democrats are bad with money. Now, I'm just humbly asking you, Brandon Johnson, to please come up with something that's reasonable by the end of this year, because I don't want to see a government shutdown, Mr. Brandon Johnson. Please do your job. I don't care if you're black. Chicago needs to get rid of DEI. I don't care if you're black. Can you do the job? Can you do the job, Mr. Brandon Johnson? And it's looking like you can't do the job. So please don't fail us.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars being spent to appease the woke mob, the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes of the world, the Kamala Harrises of the world, the open borders Democrat. It's been stated clear and absolutely unequivocally that America does not want woke, and they certainly don't want woke leaders. People have come to a realization, the same realization that Elon Musk came to on Joe Rogan's show not too long ago.
The outcome of that mind virus is very clear if you walk around the streets of downtown San Francisco. It is the end of civilization.
The outcome of this woke stuff is always the same thing, the literal downfall of modern civilization. I mean, we're talking the third world stuff, guys. And let me give you a visualization of this third world stuff. The American people said very clearly they don't want the nation ever reaching that point. Yeah, except what if I told you that that video footage was Gavin Newsom's woke California? Yep, you pretty much get the point. The people have woken up. They've seen what's happened in New York, San Francisco, Chicago. They've seen the economic devastation. They've seen the immigration crisis, the homelessness crisis, the housing crisis, and they attribute it to woke ideology. The Democrat Party has a woke problem, and now they've got a second problem on top of that. The wokesters in the party think that they're the solution, not the problem. You know, this might end up being a woke hostile takeover of the Democrat Party, and if that's the case, well, good luck to them. The woke really never learn, now do they? Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.